Have you ever heard an owl cry at midnight? In Umuaka, they say when an owl cries at night, someone will die before sunrise. And from that dawn, fear took root. No one looked at rooftops again. No one stayed out after moonrise. But one man wasn't afraid, Obinna. His words carried pride, and pride in Umuaka always calls something darker. That night, the owl answered his challenge. The air turned cold, the lamps flickered, and a voice rose from the dark. Your pride will feed me. 3 nights later, death came again. And again, the village turned against him until a stranger arrived, a man with a staff and a worn Bible, Pastor Chike, a traveler who feared nothing but God. When the shadows rose to swallow the living, light answered. That night, fear lost its voice, and the owl's cry became what it was always meant to be, just the song of the night. The Harmattan wind crawled through Umuaka that night, dry and whispering. Dust coated every roof, every palm frond, every sleeping child. The moon was pale, like the eye of something ancient watching from above. In Mama Ngozi's compound, the fire had died to red embers. Goats shifted restlessly in their robes. Then it came. Ho, ho, ho. The sound sliced through the night like a blade. Old Mama Ngozi froze. Her hands trembled as she pulled her wrapper tighter. When she looked up, her blood turned cold. An owl, dark as charcoal, perched on her thatched roof. Its head turned almost all the way around. Its eyes glowed like fire trapped in amber. She spat 3 times into the dust. Fuku Equina, God forbid. But she already knew what would follow. When an owl cried at midnight, someone always died before sunrise. By dawn, Okoro the palm wine tapper was found lifeless by the stream. His calabash shattered beside him. His wife wailed. The elders murmured, the owl has spoken again. From that day, fear settled over Umuaka like smoke that would not lift. Children were warned never to look at rooftops at night. Men hurried home before moonrise. Every cry of an owl became a death sentence. Yet one man laughed in the face of fear. Obinna, a young farmer known for his strength and reckless tongue. An owl is only a bird, he scoffed. If it cries on my roof, I would roast it for supper. His sister Chinyere, barely 16, begged him not to speak carelessly. Brother, Mama Ngozi says it's a messenger of spirits. Obinna smiled. Then I will send their messenger back with broken wings. But in Umuaka, pride was a dangerous perfume. It drew spirits closer. Weeks passed. The owl's cry grew bolder. More people died. A trader in the forest road, a hunter found stiff among his snares. Fear became the village's language. One evening, the elders gathered under the Udala tree. Mama Ngozi's voice shook as she spoke. The owl is hungry. We must pour libations before it feeds again. But Obinna stepped forward. Enough of your wine and charms. No spirit kills a man unless fear opens the door. Murmurs rose. Someone shouted, you mock what killed your fathers. Chinyere tucked his arms. Please don't anger them. But that night, as the village sank into uneasy sleep, the owl cried again. Ho, ho, ho. And this time, it perched on Obinna's roof. Chinyere woke with a start. The sound rattled her bones. She saw Obinna rise slowly, jaw tight. Stay inside, he whispered. He stepped into the cold night. The owl's eyes burned above him. He grabbed a stone and hurled it. He struck the bird's wing, but the owl did not fall. It spread its wing wide, impossibly wide, covering the whole compound in shadows. Then the air shifted. Goats bleated, lamps flickered, and a voice, not quite human, whispered from the dark, your pride will feed me. Chinyere screamed. Neighbors rushed out with lamps only to see Obinna standing frozen, staring at the roof. Mama Ngozi cried, it has chosen. The owl has chosen him. The villagers panicked, some urging him to beg for mercy, others fleeing into the night. But Obinna stood his ground. Let it come. I do not fear a bird. The owl gave one final cry, then vanished into the darkness. For 3 days, everyone waited for Obinna to die, but he lived. He even laughed. See, fear kills faster than owls. Yet the laughter did not last. A week later, the owl cried again from the shrine at the forest edge. By morning, another body was found. This time, a trader's wife. Eyes open, skin cold. Whispers spread like wildfire. Obinna has cursed us all. At sunset, the elders summoned him. The villagers gathered under the Udala tree, torches glowing red against the dusk. Obinna, son of Udo, said Papa Nwoke, the oldest man alive, You mock the spirits, now death walks among us. You must beg forgiveness or leave. I will not bow to a carved wood, Obina snapped. I bow only to the God my father spoke of, the one the white missionaries preached. Gasp, some spat into the dust. Mama Ngozi shook her head. The stubbornness will destroy you. That night, the owl cried again, louder, closer. Another youth was found dead by dawn. By morning, the people marched to Obina's compound. Torches blazed. Women wailed. Leave, they shouted. Carry your curse away from us. Chinyere clung to her brother. Brother, please, let us go, before they hurt you. For the first time, Obina's voice broke. I thought courage could silence fear, but maybe fear was right all along. As the mob closed in, a man's voice boomed across the square. Peace, peace, I say. Everyone turned. A tall, thin stranger stood at the edge of the crowd, a worn Bible under one arm, a wooden staff in his hand. His clothes were dusty from travel, his eyes bright with campfire. It was Pastor Chike, a traveling preacher known from stories whispered along the old missionary routes. Why do you devour your brother? Pastor Chike asked. Is death not enough that you must also destroy another? Papa Nwoke stepped forward. Stranger, you do not know our curse. When the owl cries, blood must follow. The preacher lifted his Bible. No bird, no curse, no dead acts without permission. There is one who conquered the grave. If he reigns, even owls must bow. The villagers murmured. Some mocked, others trembled. Mama Ngozi whispered, you speak boldly, traveler, but words cannot fight death. Then, oh. The cry rippled through the square. The owl perched atop the shrine. Its wing huge, its eyes burning red. The torches flickered out, children screamed. The crowd scattered, leaving only Obina, Chinyere, and the pastor. Do not fear, the pastor said. Fear is the chain the enemy uses to bind us. The owl spread its wing wider, shadow swallowing the moonlight. Obina dropped to his knees, shaking. I mocked the gods. I was a fool. Pastor Chike raised his staff. You are right, my son, but the one who is greater stands with us. He shouted, in the name of Jesus Christ, who conquered death, I command you, leave this place. The owl shrieked. Its cry changed, no longer a bird, but something human and hateful. Its feathers tore into black smoke, swirling like a storm. From within came a voice. Your pity fed me, your fear clothed me. The earth trembled, the udala tree bent as if bowing. Chinyere clutched her brother weeping, but Pastor Chike struck his staff into the ground. Dead, where is your sting? Grave, where is your victory? A blinding light burst from the staff, flooding the square. The shadow wreath twisted and exploded into ash that the wind carried away. Silence followed. The hour was gone. When dawn broke, the villagers crept from their huts. The air felt lighter, as if heavy veil had lifted. Pastor Chike stood in the square, dust on his robe, Bible still in hand. The curse is broken, he said, not by libation, not by charms, but by the mercy of Christ. The people wept, some in fear, some in joy. Obina fell to his knees before him. I mocked what I did not understand. Please, teach me this Jesus. The pastor smiled. Then your strength will no longer be in pride, but in him. From that day, Umuaka changed. No longer did mothers hush their children when wings beat above the roofs. Men no longer rushed home before dark. The owl's cry became what it was always meant to be, just the call of a night creature. Every year the village gathered on the night the curse was broken. They lit palm oil lamps, sang hymns in Igbo and English, and poured water on the ground in remembrance, not to idols, but to God's mercy. Obina became a humble leader, guiding young men to faith. Chinyere grew into a strong woman whose prayer moved hearts. Pastor Chike traveled on, but his story never left Umuaka. Even now, elders tell their children, once our village feared the cry of an owl, but when the name of Jesus was spoken, fear lost its voice. And if you visit Umuaka today, they will tell you it truly happened. The night an owl cried, and death itself was silenced.
Please subscribe to watch more of our videos. Thank you.